Listen carefully.
This is the big news you don't get on Fox, CNN, CBS, Telemundo, Univision, Time Magazine, the New York Times. This is a history that we have not been taught. Not in high school, not in college, not at all. This is about the matrix that rules us. The white race that rules us. The so-called white race that rules us.
Colonialism is the hidden matrix. Colonialism means our slavery, our poverty, our ignorance, our death.
Colonialism is what has us as slaves to Europeans and their descendants who remain on our land.
Little by little, you will understand. Little by little, you will feel connection to our ancestors.
Being slaves of the Europeans is not a good thing.
Our nation's name is Anahuac, not America.
Anahuac will be your reality. You will feel your rightful anger. You will understand our history. You will understand why we have been kept ignorant.
This information is dangerous information. It will save your life. It will save our people. Danger is better than the slow death that is killing us. You will understand little by little. They are killing us little by little.
Our nation's name is Anahuac, not America.
We have been lied to. We have been made slaves to lies. We have to know the truth.
This is information for the liberation of our minds.
Yes, white people can now stop pretending that they are the good guys and accept the reality that they are the descendants of criminals, savages, beasts, monsters who have committed unspeakable crimes upon our people.
This is information for the liberation of our minds. This is the spark that will set us free from Europeans. We present this to you urgently to wake you up.
We ask you to listen to the facts, to the other option, the option of liberation.
They have us drugged with their religion, their greed for materialistic junk, and an ignorant cowardice that has us refusing to accept this truth of their crimes and our right to say, "This is our land. You people stole it from us. We want it back."
Mexica Movement uses Anahuac-centered education instead of violence. Instead of doing nothing like the talkers and posers, instead of all the dead-end solutions that Europeans freely give us, instead of pretending to be a revolutionary, become a revolutionary by confronting your own lies. Learn, change yourself, learn some more, change more of your life, then learn some more and teach others as you go along. Help change others as you are changing yourself from slave to liberated.
This is information for the liberation of our minds.
Instead of continuing with the white world slavery of sex, drugs, rock and roll, expensive fast cars, selfish, useless toys, movies, concerts, sporting events, and other things that kill time, and all the other things that kill all thoughts of freedom, liberation.
We are reporting to our people in this way so that they may learn the truth.
Knowledge is power.
Lack of knowledge is lack of power.
The truth will set you free.
We are presenting this to you in this recording and a video and a book and on the internet so that you will learn how our land and its wealth made Europeans and the so-called Americans the wealthiest and most powerful people on this planet and left us poor, ignorant, massacred, enslaved, hopeless.
We ask you to listen to the facts, to the other option, the option of liberation.
History doesn't really matter, we are told. Yet we are told about Greeks and Romans, Columbus and Napoleon, Washington and Lincoln, and Plato, Jesus, Julius Caesar, or any other things that give importance to European history or culture. Our history, we are told by Europeans, doesn't really matter because it is not important. It is insignificant. Not important? Insignificant? How convenient that turns out to be for them. It keeps us ignorant, and they keep our land.
It keeps us ignorant and poor, and they keep our land. It keeps us ignorant, poor, and cowardly, and they keep our land, and they keep our wealth.
It keeps us ignorant, poor, and cowardly, and they keep our land, and they keep our wealth. Not important, insignificant. What a lie. A monstrous lie.
Ignorance keeps us slaves to the white race, and they have no shame in stealing our land and its wealth, killing our people, and keeping all of these crimes secret and hidden. For us, ignorance of our history is a disaster, a holocaust that keeps us as slaves. Slaves to the interest of Europeans and their descendants who live off our land, who live off our slave labor, who live off our ignorance and our love of Europeans, our forced love of Europeans, and our self-hate. Our stolen land made them wealthy and allowed them time to fabricate lies about how they became wealthy and came to progress. They tried to put an honorable story to a dishonorable history of their people.
We have been lied to. We have been made slaves to lies. We have to know the truth.
It was not horses or cannons or their supposedly superior military skills that defeated us. It was their use of smallpox as a weapon that brought down our civilizations and allowed them to steal our land and wealth.
How civilized, how Christian. It was their use of smallpox as a weapon that brought down our civilizations and allowed them to steal our land and wealth.
This is a white-controlled planet. This is a European-controlled planet. We are slaves of Europeans, the so-called white people. What we don't know is that all of the wealth from our land and all of the innovations that came from the wealth of our land is what actually gave them power and pride. The wealth, innovation, power, and pride that is by all rights ours. It is only theirs by all that is evil, wrong, unfair, and monstrous. Therefore it can never be theirs. Not an inch of our land can ever be truly theirs.
When we say that all of this wealth and innovations is by all rights ours, we immediately think we have been trained, brainwashed to think that we could never have done the same things with our land and its wealth in the way that Europeans have done. We have been trained, we have been brainwashed to think that only white people could create skyscrapers, computers, cars, medicine, and the whole modern world that we now know. We think that we could never have done the same thing. We think that it was good that they stole our land, that we are their slaves. We think of Aztec gods, human sacrifice, primitive, savages, brown, horrible people like us. We think and say this because we don't know of our own true history of genius, beauty, and intellectual accomplishments that happened before the Europeans came to rob us of our land and its wealth.